and welcome to the SmackDown preview. I'm Adam Wilbourn from WhatCulture, joined by all the Dolly boys from WhatCulture. Michael Hamflett. Here's a look ahead to tonight's episode of Friday Night SmackDown. But before we get into it, if you're a fan of this sort of thing, make sure you subscribe to WhatCulture Wrestling on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, and YouTube. Where we do daily wrestling podcasts where we're not going to review SmackDown, but also the show formerly known as NXT 2.0. AEW Dynamite, AEW Collision, pay-per-views, premium live events. We have interviews, roundtable discussions, and a roundup of the week complete with a very good quiz, of course, on WrestleCulture. As I said, though, joined by Michael Hamflett to look ahead to tonight's episode of Friday Night SmackDown. I'm going to update the...
Yeah. Big 2026 smart goal, isn't it?
Indeed.
Yeah.
But lots to look forward to tonight. Traitors looking really good.
Yeah, big episode of the Traitors. The BB goddamn C. Here we are again. It's another January. And the national institution that is the BBC. Abused, neglected. Yes, it may be. Thankfully, just abandoned by a younger generation. I see that in my home every day. But to those who know, the BBC really comes into its own in January with this. Feeling sad about the end of Christmas? Well, don't be, because here's the Traitors, here's Gladiators, here's The Apprentice. Shoot Telly, just like you remember it, is actually back for like a 2-month stretch where you tune in at the time the show's on, where you talk about it with your colleagues when, I'm sorry I fell behind, and then accidentally we get spoilers.
Water cooler moments, though, yeah?
Water cooler moments. Actually round the telly on a Saturday as a family. I never thought I would see the day again, and it actually happened with Gladiators last year. I hope the kids haven't got bored of it. It's coming back on my son's birthday this year. I cannot tell you how that's become part of the day.
That's amazing.
That he's super excited about. We're going out to the pub for some food at his request. A 12-year-old wanted a pub tea for his birthday.
Trained him well.
I love that guy. And he said, can we make sure that we're back for Gladiators? Back in the hotel that he's asked for his birthday. He wanted a night at a Holiday Inn because you get a big buffet breakfast and unlimited access to the swimming pool. He's the GOAT.
Yeah.
And Gladiators has now been made part of that.
It's the best birthday ever, that, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, it might top a birthday the other year when he has to go for, he wanted to see 3 different films at 3 cinemas with a McDonald's for lunch and a KFC for tea. And it took a bit of admin, but it's one of the best days I've ever had.
I'll tackle that, love.
Yeah, I was left with the job, and I understood.
Left with the job.
Yeah. I understood the assignment, put it like that. I did a lot of burping it through that day.
It's penultimate week, of course. Traitors finishes next Friday.
Do we need to put a spoiler alert?
I mean, we're talking about the Traitors. There's timestamps. But I don't think we're going to reveal too much. I've just got more of a sort of wider rant about the Faithfuls, to be honest, to get into.
Just before you do that, can we shout out our brilliant producer, Adam Nicholas?
I wouldn't get too excited if it's going to be about the timestamps, because this is going to be an absolute show.
I've seen the painstaking effort that Adam Nicholas has done for the timestamps this week.
People loving it as well. So
and people are loving it. The feedback is super positive, and that must be killing Nicholas inside. Because
I really wish it had died on its arse. I've
seen the work that goes into it. It's a different kind of work, because obviously it's bitty and it's difficult, and you have to relive some of the stuff you didn't even like living through the first time. And in the case of NXT, it's been known
it's question marks
every now and then for that show to like take a few janky journeys.
Yes.
Luckily, that doesn't happen on the SmackDown coverage.
Yeah, always.
So that's smooth sailing. You could leave that one to AI and it wouldn't make a single mistake.
Yep. He could just keep the same thing. It's like 0 to, I don't know, a minute intro, 1 minute to about 20 minutes, some TV bollocks, and then actual preview 20 minutes onwards.
Set headings.
Yes.
This is basically my ladies' night. It's my Nicholas's day, where I basically just try and guess the time that you're going to chat absolute nonsense for from there to there. Match maybe here. Promo maybe here.
Second distraction.
More nonsense.
Yes.
A tangent appears.
Classic British TV show.
Wilbourn's highlighted there that we are in fact predictable hacks.
Yeah,
yeah. I love the feedback in the comments sometimes about like, God, I had to go to this point to get to the show, and then like somebody replying to that. Yeah, that was when I started to mentally tune out. Like SmackDown will do that to you sometimes. The Traitors, however, does not.
No. No spoilers for any banishments or murders or even recruitments. I feel a bit guilty because I think the thing is, I think a bit like people watching The Apprentice, right? You know, when they go like, you idiots.
Yep.
First of all, they don't have access to like technology, do they? It's not like when they go like, go and find a wibble.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
So it sounds like a bit of rope or something.
Everybody with access to any form of the internet has Googled everything for the last 25 years.
Yes.
And they can't.
No, exactly. So there's that. And also, as Mitchell and Webb famously pointed out, they just hire thick people for The Apprentice to make you feel better about yourself. They are not hiring the next great businessman.
No.
They're just thick people who've got maybe some quite good business ideas.
Or
at the end
chips
of all
on the
this.
shoulder, or a proven inability to work with others, or things like that, yeah.
Arseholes.
Yeah.
But with the traitors, with the faithful specifically in the traitors, it's all well and good sitting there going, you thick twats, how are you not working this out? Well, it's 25 strangers meeting for the first time with no prior knowledge about each other, and also not with the constant reminder that we get as viewers of, here's the traitors.
Yeah.
These are the traitors, and here's what they're doing, and here's why it factors into it. You have nothing to go on. Having said that, this year is the worst bunch of faithfuls I've ever seen.
I think it's a bit like, and I know this subject is sensitive to people, so I'm not promoting this or degrading it or whatever. The Grand National is a 40-horse race that takes place in the UK every year, and it's kind of like it's the WrestleMania of horse racing, because it like brings in the casuals and all that sort of stuff. It is like, in terms of a numerical disadvantage, like betting the wrong horse in the Grand National, and then somebody just getting in your face and being like, "You stupid idiot! How
at least it's favourites in the Grand National?
How could you be so blind to the obvious winner? The numbers in the Traitors are against you until literally the last day of the show, the last day of the game." You know,
and the twist this year, I really like the way they've just tweaked it. Because when she mentioned it, I must have missed it the first time. So like we're down to the final four, right? And
bloodbath after that. Like
they start with 3 traitors. That's not a spoiler, right? Everyone kind of knows that by now.
You can go up to 4 and down to 1.
I assume so. Yeah. I'd love it if they had like 12 traitors. Oops, all traitors. But this year, whereas in previous years, if it was like, right, we've got 2 traitors yet, or we've got 3 or whatever, we kind of know probably out of this last 5, 6 people, one of them's going to be a traitor. Eliminate you, and they go, oh, one final parting gift, season 1. I'm a traitor, or whatever. I don't know why I did that. That's revealing their names. Mina. How are you spelling that? Why can't you spell people's names?
Oh, that's infuriating. I'd vote somebody out for that.
Yeah.
You know, when they're looking for little, like, clues or evidence, when this is a completely random shot in the dark every single time. And then, so a great example of this one, he's a doctor as his day job, so it stands to reason that he'd kill people by night on a TV show.
Oh, I'm Harold Shipman, am I? Whoa, where's this come from?
How does anything stand to reason? There's the show every year develops its own sort of language that the cast get used to. Like, we wouldn't really get this because we don't do bits. But it's almost like they kind of establish bits and like things that just become normalized speech to all of these people. So the season 1, like everybody would always say, well, it's not me because I'm 100% faithful.
Yeah.
Well, that's kind of the point of the game, is to lie the whole way through.
Yeah.
So like the fact when somebody would go,
It's not
like,
because I'm 90%. Oh,
that's
giving
it.
it up.
That's it. I'm 100% faithful. Oh, good. I can relax about you then. Like in this game that is about deceit. So that was like the one of season 1. I think season 2. I'm trying to remember what season 2 was. Season 2, because of, again, I don't want to spoil it because it's all there and so accessible.
It's so good.
There is a bombshell twist in season 2 that then kind of completely reshapes the whole show. And they're all talking about like who's the smartest player and who, like, because somebody has like revealed something and then everybody just says, well, my entire worldview in this house has completely changed forever. So after that, it becomes about, but like, I know you're a smart player. I know you're so it becomes about, it's the first time that the game becomes about the game, which is natural when a show starts, when it becomes known and huge and that. Season 3 is maybe my favorite because it's become about evidence. I'm bringing some evidence to the table earlier on. Well, what's the evidence? Earlier on, you called me Bill instead of Billy, and I can't trust anybody that does that to me.
I mean, Linda's was the best. Traitors, yes.
Yeah, she popped around.
But, we're not going to give any more spoilers other than that. One frustration I have is one of the worst questions that they ask on every season. I'll start asking, why am I still here? Because you're the thickest. They get rid of the smart ones. Episode 1, who did they go for? The smart ones.
I don't even think it's as sophisticated as that. It's, for those, I know the format is slightly different across the world, but if you haven't watched The Traitors, you might have watched Deal or No Deal, right? And our Deal or No Deal, it doesn't have broads and briefcases. It's Noel Edmonds and red boxes. Or even worse, Stephen Mulhern now. He's the worst in the game. Yes, he's the worst. It's Deal or No Deal, but instead of cash values, the human beings. Right, I've got to ask myself, why am I still here? You're not sat playing Deal or No Deal and playing this complete random game where you're just saying numbers and I've got to ask myself why the £700 still there. It's because you've not said it yet. It's numbers and odds, and it's weighted against you. The winner of the Traitors is the £250 box, right? It's like that's
250 grand.
Sorry, 250 grand box. Yeah.
Although I'd take 250 right now.
Yeah, I'd take anything. I just don't want to. I don't want a penny.
Don't want a penny.
Don't want the 1p club.
No.
That's an undignified group, isn't it? You take the 10 pence just to keep yourself out.
Ollie Murs is in that group.
Is he?
Yeah, or 10p or something.
Do you remember when there was a period of time when the show was really popping off, Deal or No Deal, and people didn't believe that there was a banker on the end of the phone to Noel Edmonds, which was funny on 2 counts. Number one, the idea they couldn't afford somebody, literally anybody you never see their face, to just come up with cash values.
Producer just goes, 5 grand.
5 grand. But people were willing enough to believe that Noel Edmonds had experienced such head loss that he was actually having a conversation with himself, cracking jokes. Mr. Banker, you masterful gambit, sir, you've done it again.
The phone's not connected.
He just picks up the phone. There's a little microphone.
Ollie Murs won £10 in 2007, so before he was famous on Deal or No Deal. But he returned in 2012, charity show.
Nice.
Won 150p.
Oh, God. Ollie, man. Ollie. Can't you see? You need to win more than 50p.
But this year's as well, it's such a herd mentality.
Yeah. It is. It's a good test of human nature, isn't it?
They, first of all, several idiots on this show. Why weren't you more upset when you'd been buried alive in a coffin? Because they weren't left there overnight, and also not buried alive. When they were like, I think it's this one. Yeah, I don't think the producers of the BBC TV show
Under dirt.
bury him alive, probably for 6 feet. Yeah, and make sure they've maybe got an air hole or something.
They've been in there 5 minutes before the people arrive.
Right, get in the boat, get in the coffin. Why weren't you more upset about it all?
This is something, again, without spoilers, that it's worth putting over the Traitors for, rather than just excellent format. As long as it continues to cast real feeling people rather than people that are ready for the reality TV world, this will continue to succeed for the time being. But the over the top visuals that the Traitors works to come up with as little extra bonuses. So Wilbourn's just said it. Coffin on a boat. That is only really a hop, skip, and a jump from the stupidest WWE.
Yes.
And the Traitors does it on taxpayer funded television. And I, for one, am glad for it. I like to see my television license going on the Traitors, Gladiator, Apprentice, triple header, because that feels like my money spent for the year.
It's Raw, SmackDown, and NXT, isn't it?
It is Raw, SmackDown, and NXT. I'm glad finally somebody else said it.
I like that you getting excited about the BBC making wrestling adjacent content is what's happening here, isn't it?
You're right. You're totally right.
Which one's which then?
Gladiators, big, massive, jacked up people with tans and flamboyant entrances. The Gladiators.
SmackDown.
I think Gladiators has to be NXT.
Nah.
I think Apprentice has to be Raw, longest running.
Oh, do you know why that might work, actually? Because, now Traitors is Raw now. You can flip them too. It's like when one's the flagship and one's the other.
Yes, that's fair.
But the Traitors right now, that's Golden Era stuff. That's Raw 2022 to present. Every now and then a class Apprentice will win it back like a good SmackDown, but it just doesn't have that.
Yeah, that's why Gladiators has to be NXT.
Right, you're right. And do you know why as well? Is because...
And they got stupid names.
People love the black and gold era, like OG Gladiators, and just like that, it was awful by the end.
Yeah,
there was definitely an NXT 2021 era of Gladiators, and then they brought it back 2.0, and it's all over again.
Can I have John Fashanu, please, Brian, for the Photoshop? You can be Ulrika.
I'll be Ulrika, that's fine.
Awooga!
Or, neither of us are John Fashanu.
Okay.
There's a picture, I'm sure, of 2 gladiators holding up Ulrika, She's the sexy lady. And that can be Nicholas.
Good idea.
And you'll be the gladiators.
Again, Miss Elizabeth adjacent. It's all.
It sticks in your head.
No. It sticks in your head.
Yeah, that's true.
It sticks in your head.
Do you want to do a quick anything more you want to say on the Traitors? I just want to say the death match was a complete game of chance. Why would you put yourself in it if you're a traitor? You've just watched the previous season and thought, I'll just do the same thing there then.
Yeah.
Idiots. I'm not about to say who's gone. Oh, I caught myself there. There's a few people that I cannot wait till they get murdered. That's a weird sentence to say. But
it's not about the traitors at this point.
I have discovered, as you were talking there, the GOAT, the Beano, has done a which gladiator are you most like quiz.
Oh.
Would you like to take
Yeah.
it? How would your friends describe you? Loves howling at the moon? Competitive? Charming? Really fast? Bit of a baddie? Or loves to dance?
I mean, none of them. After an absolute skinful, we'll go loves to dance.
Okay. What's your favourite kind of book to get?
Howling at the moon. Who could that handle moon?
What's your favourite kind of book to get at the library? Is it a book about mythical creatures? A Beano annual? Something about how to build even bigger muscles? A book about athletics? A book about villains? Or a book about modern aircraft?
Beano annual, 100%.
Smart move. What are you going to do this weekend? Burp it through? No, sorry. Snarl at people? Train hard? Do some push-ups? Do lots of exercise? Think of ways to put my opponents off? Or do a cartwheel and climb a wall?
I'm going to look up and down the podcast charts. And I'm going to think about ways to put my opponents off. Yeah.
Come for you, Chris Van Vliet.
Yeah. Yeah.
What type of Beano quiz do you enjoy the most? Animal personality quizzes? I feel like they're trying to lead us down.
Route one is, yeah.
Any quiz, as long as I get a perfect score. Any football quiz. I like the sports quizzes and games too. I will take any quiz and get a top score, or I like the movie and TV quizzes the most.
I like the movie and TV quizzes the most.
Okay. Pick a tasty meal.
Right.
Chicken. Pasta. Lots of vegetables and protein. Something spicy. Soup and a bagel. A nice sandwich and a smoothie.
Oh, I wonder which one he's going to choose.
Soup and a bagel. Put bread in stuff. Put stuff in bread. It just works.
A big obstacle is I've just seen the first option. A big obstacle is blocking your path on the way home from school.
Right.
What do? Snarl at it until it moves. Climb over it. Lift it up and move it out of the way. Run really quickly around it. Sigh loudly and do a flip over it. Or do a somersault over it.
There's no option for a quiet
Go
complaint
home.
to myself and go a different way.
Yeah.
Grumble about it on a wrestling podcast. I feel like you know when we on the Tuesdays when you're actually here and we're asking Stacks to set the punchlines. Can I really quickly can I have those again, please?
Snarl,
Yeah.
climb over it, lift it up and move it, run really quickly around it, sigh loudly and do a flip over it, or do a somersault over it.
Why sigh? It's like heel ricochet. I'll run around it really fast.
Okay. Pick a colour to wear to the gym. All grey, orange, red, something really colourful, black top, black shorts, or a dance t-shirt and leggings.
At the moment, I'm needing the darker colours, but I'll dream of a day where I can be a bit more confident, so I'll say red.
3 more to go.
Yes, I love this.
What song will you choose to be your walkout theme? Heavy metal? Something inspiring. Something that gets the crowd excited. A huge anthem? Something orchestral and moody? Or a pop classic from the 90s?
Pop classic from the 90s.
Good choice. Pick an animal. Pick an animal. Option 1, a wolf.
What?
A leopard, a bear, whatever the fastest animal is, a snake, or a monkey or something.
I'll take, as we've discussed in this podcast before, what I once put at the top of a food chain when we had to design our own for a science exam, the bear.
Okay, smart.
Food chain, for those that don't remember, was Grass, cow, man, bear. Tell me when I'm telling lies.
What does...
I still think the cow would have you.
Not when it's a burger.
No, but you have to kill the cow first to get the burger. Idiot.
The man isn't me.
In this example, though.
It was very much more sort of like humans, brackets general.
No.
So like people that can...
No.
I don't know, the farmer or the like people that work at the abattoir, I don't know. Like just there. I'm not a cow killer.
Well, not yet.
Not yet.
Depends how hungry you get.
AJ Styles likes a calf killer, doesn't he?
What does winning mean to you? It means everything, and I do not lose. I am very competitive.
Wolf food.
I am very competitive. It's important to try your best, and by that I mean win. I aim to be the quickest. It's very important. Whilst it's important to try your best, I don't like to lose ever.
I mean,
They're all the
they're all the same.
Snarl at the winner.
Yeah. I don't know, the quickest.
Okay.
It gets something done, doesn't it?
Oh my God.
I don't know what to do with this information, ladies and gentlemen. Michael Hamflett, you are Jet.
Oh, yeah!
You're Jet, the best one.
The best
God.
gladiator. Na 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 na. Jet. Ooh, yes. So we had Paul McCartney this week. John Lennon's long ass last week. Brian, please put me on Jet's body. Diane Udall, the guest host, the secondary host of You Bet when it was handed from Matthew Kelly to TV love rat Darren Day.
Of course.
Yeah. What else do I know about? She did some presenting on MTV for a little bit where it was like Jet, but sultry.
Ooh.
Sexy Jet.
Jet set.
Jet sex. Yeah. Jet set. Were you Jet or Lightning as a kid?
Jet, obviously.
All right.
Didn't
realise that was a-
yeah.
Nicholas?
Yeah, I'm just looking now.
I'm looking.
See, I was never. It was like I watched
You're too young
Gladiators,
for-
but it was never like it wasn't a go-to. I mean,
Wasn't a cultural moment when you were old enough to appreciate it, I think. Yeah.
so Jet and who was the other one?
Lightning were the two that like were kind of...
Sorry, just bear with me while I objectify these women. I guess.
Yeah,
is
that's
what
it. Yeah,
we're-
Jet and Lightning
what
were the
you're
Rock
asking
Austin
me
of
to.
their day.
What was the one with...
I mean,
I
for my
loved Shadow.
Shadow? There was, I believe there was like sort of rumours of steroids or something like that. Like the evil of steroids, and Shadow had to leave Gladiators or something like that. There was a bit of scandal around Shadow.
Oh, yeah. Shamed Gladiator star Shadow.
I don't mean to sound like Stu Hart trying to get Jim Neidhart a job, but I like the big Rhino. Rhinos.
500 quid an episode.
That's not enough.
No.
That is not enough.
not at all.
No wonder the
Jet,
Wolf
Jet
Mouse.
is a very beautiful woman.
Yes.
As the and I'm sure she's a very good gladiator as well.
She was a great gladiator, yeah. She was one of the best. The American Gladiators, there was a great documentary on Netflix about this, Home of the Dead, where they were talking about how like they took them on tour. So like a Gladiators house show tour.
Jesus.
So the payoff's basically even worse because then you were dividing it up by
Yeah.
house. So, but like your town's local people can do Gladiators. It makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah,
As
yeah.
a business model. But they were paid horribly and they were all getting injured and they were just like, they're on the wrestlers on tour. So imagine that, like they're all on the Gladiators bus or whatever. Just living an insane life. and then having
What's
to be,
going
like,
on back there?
the peak of physical fitness, like in front of these like arenas.
Like the
of
Olympic
people.
Village, but on tour.
Yeah, the Gladiators Village.
Oh, to be a fly on that wall. I was more of a Cobra guy. He loved to laugh, that boy.
He did. He was, yeah.
My mum liked Hunter too much, I'd say.
He was the mum's. He was the mum's favorite. Yeah, Hunter was a hunk.
I have
Hunter
to say-
and Ulrika Johnson had a relationship for a while.
Oh,
Those
right.
who knew.
I have to say the only gladiator I fervently remember is Wolf. Ironically,
Wolf man.
It's just him because he was.
Got over, didn't he?
Yeah, he got over.
He understood the business.
He was a scary, scary man.
Yeah. He was like, I think he was about like sort of 15 years older than the rest of the gladiators, but it was like that Damien Priest thing where nobody noticed or minded. Like, we're
We're all on
we're all in our spandex, fact. And like fair play to him as well.
Yeah.
Because like I liked Cobra enough, but it was a bit like when they turned like Doink babyface. It was like, well, he's just a shoot clown now. Why should I buy him as a wrestler? And it was like the Wall. you're going to be chased by Saracen. And
I like Saracen, yeah.
Saracen was like a good gladiator, right?
Yeah,
Good, solid all-rounder, one of the first names on
yeah.
the team sheet, that sort of thing. And then it's like, and Adam, you're going to be chased by Cobra. And it's like, well, I'm straight up that wall. Like, you're halfway up the wall, and he's going, I got you.
You'll go on my second whistle. Oh, my knob's fallen out. That's Cobra, not me.
I was going to say
I'd be
Cobra was.
straight up there.
I was thinking of Cobra was thinking of the kids' party circuit, but maybe not if that was his gimmick. But yeah, that was the idea. It was like he's thinking about like what next is there for me after Gladiators? Maybe I'll be a stage entertainer.
Yeah.
So it was
get the panto money in.
never really about the competitive element.
Wolfman was all about. He was the taker
Wolf-
of the Gladiator.
He was the conscience of the
That's
locker room.
It's a great call, that.
Yeah.
I think that is very true.
He was so smart with it because he did want to win and he did want to capture the contenders or whatever. However, it was win-win for him, wasn't it? Because if he gets one, he's like, show it up your ass, kids. I caught your dad and I'll do it again. Snarling at your dad. Like it's like that's how it works. But then when he doesn't, and he's like, well, he was cheating anyway.
Yeah.
And then they'll play
Shoves John Anderson.
Yeah, they'll play Who's Afraid of the Big Bad Wolf? Go yourself, go yourself. And all the kids would sing it. That's what they'd say.
They'd all sing it.
He got foam fingers and the fingers doing that. It's like the kids could get involved. Go yourself and die wolf. Like la 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 la. That was what they all said at Gladiators. And he got the heat.
Yeah. He knew how to get the heat.
Yep.
So, SmackDown tonight, there's a world title on the line.
26 minutes. 26 minutes. Well done, lads.
It's Tiffany Stratton versus Bayley after she won that great fatal four-way last week.
Yeah.
How do you see this one going? I mean, Tiffany's not losing the title, is she?
Well, Tiffany Stratton's winning. Who booked this? Tony Khan. Yeah, Bayley setting up a fouad with Roxanne Perez, possibly her first one on the main roster.
Oh my God.
Thank you. You've got Bayley talking about what was it? They're moving to Raw. So
Oh,
she's
yeah.
like her business is as good as
She's got...
moving to Raw ahead of like entering the Royal Rumble and winning again. So her business is as good as conducted on SmackDown. Like, what are they thinking? I understand you want to set stuff up, but like,
I think it's one of those where they will sell it as, yeah, this is be all and end all. All the other plans go out the window when she wins this world title and goes on to WrestleMania. But yeah, I think it's a great first defense.
Yeah.
Like Bayley's so great. And
I would genuinely like for Nigel. You know, last week you had the division kind of all trying to put Tiffany Stratton on notice, and I don't mind if they're all out there at ringside. The more people, if Nia Jax is trying to run interference to screw Tiffany Stratton, the more people you've got out there, the better. Nia Jax,
Bianca tries to help.
well, this is it, right? There's a lot of overlapping narratives here. So like Nia Jax hates Tiffany Stratton because she's taking a title, but always like perennially hates Bayley, and they were having their words on Raw. In the meantime, Bianca Belair like still doesn't like or trust Bayley, but last week 2 weeks ago was attacked by Tiffany Stratton in order to get the belt in the first place. There's all sorts of nice overlapping beefs at this point, which is helpful. In the chaos, Roxanne Perez run from out the crowd and smashing Bayley in the head with the title, so Tiffany Stratton gets the win. And her being separated from the regular rank and file chaos of like her own, no, this is my own thing. I'm not interested in getting in the mud with the U's. I'm here for Bayley. Like, she came to my backyard on Tuesday, so I'm going to come to hers on Friday.
Or even just do the hiding it in plain sight, the solo Sikoa. I got a ticket.
Yeah.
There she is, Roxanne Perez on the front row.
Front row.
Oh, come to my show, will you?
Picks a spot, waits the opportune moment, hits her, cheats, wins, and then you've got Bayley and Roxanne for either Vengeance Day, possibly, or even just for exchanges in the Rumble, that sort of thing.
Yeah, bit of both, for me.
I'd like that.
But obviously,
And then Tiffany wins.
defends this. There's still room for me for Bianca to be like, sorry, Bayley. But then I also don't. Well, let's talk about Jade Cargill, actually, because I think she was spotted at the Performance Center this week. No suggestion. I mean, she could be the reason that Bayley loses this match. Oh my God. Jade Cargill's back, and she thinks Bayley's the one who attacked her.
Yeah, she could. Because that was certainly something that Bianca Belair would have been, a conclusion she would have been willing to jump to. And go on.
After I was attacked, I heard a terrible entrance theme. Well, that could be anyone, Jade.
Yeah, that's it. So
Actually, because it's Naomi as well, because they've ruined hers from the old good one. It works.
I heard an awful entrance theme, so here's my suspects. It rolls all the way down the aisle.
Jericho 1,000 holds thing.
Yeah, that's a really, really great idea, that Wilbourn. You can have one of them for that.
It's got me butter, baby. I'm on a roll.
The idea that up until now, like everybody, they could put 50, they could be an NXT women's segment where there's 50 women in the room, 49 of them get named, and the one that doesn't is Naomi, right, at the moment.
Yes.
But it will get to the point now that they've started doing the little bit of like accidental stuff happening between Naomi and Bianca Belair. That's obviously the road to that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Bianca Belair would happily think it's Bayley. Naomi would spot that she thinks it's Bayley. And say, do you know what? I never thought of that. Maybe it is Bayley. I mean, we're friends. I wouldn't have kicked Traitors all over again, isn't it? I'm not saying it's evidence, but it's
I'm 100% faithful.
I'm 100% faithful, so we can rule me out straight away. But Bayley.
I like that.
Spelt B-Q-I-E-L.
For years.
3 Ys.
That's Bayley with 5 E's at the end, yeah. I've gone back and forth. I'm so excited for this Jade Cargill return, and the I love a whodunit, me.
Yeah.
But I've gone back and forth of like, Jade Cargill returns, for example, mid-match as Bianca and Naomi defend against the Meta Girls, who won the number 1 contenders match on NXT.
That's going to be good.
But I think I like this more. Like, what if a car pulls up and, they're like, who's in the car? And normally they open the door and the feet step out. Well, they don't. It's someone's driven the car with Jade Cargill still on the windscreen. She hasn't moved for 6
But she's
weeks.
fully recovered now.
Not better.
Sit up from it.
But, Jade Cargill coming back and hinting she knows a little bit, or she's got the footage or whatever, but it's not been revealed yet. I want this. I want to see the panic of a bit like Traitors. You got a shield. Did you get the shield for did you get the shield for last night? Like, did you see who it was?
You heard the voice. Great. Well, let's definitely get to the voice. If you heard the voice.
Really good. Did you hear the But I think I want that. I think I want her to be back and say, no, I think I know who did it. And everyone, it's Bayley. It's not. And her to be back and be like, cool, I'll take the tag title. Thanks for looking after it, Naomi.
I mean, we've defended it a couple of times now, kind of.
Freebird it or?
Yeah.
I mean, who knows? You could get attacked again.
Is it at all possible? I know we talked about this at the time. That
I need Jay back for the Rumble as well.
Yeah. And it would
She's
be
2 weeks?
It would be a year since her proper debut, and they've been careful. Some have argued too careful with how much they've really progressed stuff with her.
Mm-hmm.
The tag team, there's no obvious reason for Bianca and Jade to have split, but it's not like that they can't use stuff that in the characters' minds was happening in the background. So if you were going to, I don't necessarily think I'm even pitching this, but if you were thinking the end goal of this is Jade Cargill, the babyface, versus Bianca Belair, the heel, which is a big ask, but
I'd like to see it.
But maybe, right? Then obviously the attack taking place while Bianca was in the ring, as we said at the time, kind of gives her the perfect alibi, but the reality is she's asked somebody else to do it. She's done business with somebody else. And if there's like, say, for example,
Stick the winner.
If there's like a new signing.
She takes herself.
And then she was also backstage as well as in the ring. That's why she's the EST. Quickest. Nobody noticed that she'd go on.
I just thought if you could have she got someone to do her dirty work for her and then bloodlines all over her, have Rikishi turn up and be like, I know what that's like.
It was Rikishi. No, but if she's texted somebody to stick the winner.
Did run over, I'm not saying she was run over, she looked like she'd been chucked into a car, but.
So we're going with Rikishi.
No Way Out.
All right.
3 Stages of Hell with Jade Cargill.
And Rikishi, they have that to set up the WrestleMania. Yeah, that's where you pay that off. Get that out of the way before WrestleMania. Smart. Good business.
Sorry, you were saying?
No, just that she could have had an accomplice who we don't yet know. So the SmackDown roster is genuinely innocent because they're about to call loads of people up from NXT, or there's somebody coming in it's not going to be, but say for example it was Jordan Grace, and it's like
Jesus,
and that's where they've kind of made a little dirty deal, and now she's coming in proper. That's when you get to sort of pay that off, and she was Bianca Belair's accomplice. I don't think they'll necessarily do that because I don't know how easy it'd be to sell Bianca Belair as a heel, and Triple H has never explored the brilliance of Bianca Belair as a babyface singles wrestler yet. Where if you think about SummerSlam, when he had his kind of first night and Damage Control arrived, and you had Becky and Bianca united for the first time, and that was pretty much Triple H's big night where he gets to like sort of start doing things the way he wants to do it. That was SummerSlam 2022. Bianca Belair was the champion, would go on to have a kind of middling run after that, lose it, and has never been back in singles title contention since. So I don't necessarily think a heel turn for her is worth even trying yet, because there's so much more to do with her as one of the best baby faces in the whole company.
Yeah.
However, it'd be an awesome match, and that dynamic specifically I'm into. Jade and Bianca, with Jade as the baby face and Bianca carrying the load of that match as the heel, is something I don't mind.
We've also got a sort of tag team #1 contenders match. A tournament has kind of come together. Pretty Deadly. Yes, boy! Losing last week, of course. You had 18 Dan Anda. And the subsequent winners of both those matches will face each other tonight, one would assume, to get the shot against DIY going forward, although they've promised it to Pretty Deadly.
Yeah.
So the Motor City Machine Guns, of course, Sabin and Shelley, against Los Garza, Angel and Umberto.
Motor City Machine Guns.
Yes, obviously.
That's happening. What's the other side again? So we've got A-Town Down Under.
They're gone.
They're out.
Pretty Deadly gone. It's Angel and Umberto.
What did we talk about this last week? Because I don't like any of this. When we were reviewing it, I thought this was like pretty shameless attempt to just throw people on screen and be like, look at this hustling, bustling division. But they're all just vacant voids.
We talked about the Street Profits.
That's
being
what
behind
I
it all.
want. Yeah, for all these. I want the Street Profits like finally firing back and like showing their worth and showing their value, and everybody being reminded again that they're kind of the best of all of these. I want a Motor City Machine Guns heel turn, probably when they fall short. The Guns getting one more shot and getting screwed out a bit by Pretty Deadly on the promise that Pretty Deadly get the next title match, and running with that Gargano. We'll sort it. My lawyers are tied up with the paperwork.
SmackDown GM comes out the following week from that and says, there's been a team that's been promised a tag title match, but the name on that piece of paper is not Yes Boy. It is a team who got screwed out of it time and time and time again. Street Profits are back.
Yeah, but you get the Guns to the rematch first.
Yes.
That's the move.
I think so too. But I think in terms of the ideal sort of #1 contenders opponents, you can't go far wrong with Angel and Umberto.
No, it's just that I need more evidence about like those getting pushed in a meaningful way. They're kind of idiots over this whodunit thing as well. Like as baby faces that have just been willing to
Because
follow.
they've got two at the same time, really, isn't it?
Any old lead, and then just like, we could give you some objective evidence that this is false. We're too late now, we're in a fight. Like, just stop and take a breath for a second. But they don't, and then it's just...
Punch first, ask questions later.
Yeah. Apollo Crews and a mystery partner feels like that's coming.
Well, hang on.
It's time to play the game! Time to play the game! Ha 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 ha!
Who's Apollo Crews' mystery partner?
Mina from the Traitors. Stop.
Picking on between 1 to 12.
12.
I think Tony Storm's kind of busy right now.
Good, yeah.
That doesn't count as a skip.
She left WWE, didn't she?
She did.
Some terrible creative. Well, I forgot the content of
She
her
got cream pied on her way out, I seem to remember.
I forgot that, yeah. Stop.
I only give you 1 to 8 here because they're kind of halfway between.
8.
What's Oni Lorcan up to right now?
Tweeting in capital letters and coaching balls in the Performance Center, probably. Why not? No, we'll go. I've got to stick with this one.
No, because the Tony Storm was not your fault.
Oh, okay. Stop.
1 to 12.
1.
Summer Rae.
Makes me feel fine, but not really an interest. Although that time when she came back for the Royal Rumble, she was just effing and jeffing all the way down the aisle. It was quite funny, wasn't it? I'm going to kick your f***ing ass, Natty.
Jesus, where's this come from?
Yeah. Go on, one last one.
Yeah, all on this one.
Stop.
1 to 12.
Crocodile's mouth situation, is it? 6?
Nope.
7?
Nope.
Oh, all right, we'll go. Stop people trying to figure it out. 2.
Okay. No.
12.
No.
Oh, Jesus. 11.
No, definitely not. I'm going to just go. I've moved on. Pick another number, please.
5.
Oh, hang on, tell me to stop.
I'll stop.
Okay, pick a number now.
5.
I mean, just when I thought it was all over, Apollo introduces his tag team partner.
Yeah.
And I'm going to allow this one, despite the Tony Storm. I'm going to allow this because there's a chance with the way that it's been going for him. Rusev Putria, Rusev Machka.
Amazing. I love it. So what would we do there? So Rusev makes a shock return.
Jumped back to tag with Apollo Crews. And then he can kill him, obviously.
Turns out he's been out of contract in AEW for months.
He's been fighting around.
Well, this is the thing, right? What he's been after for years in AEW is
What if Apollo Crews is getting married? And he can be the best man. That would work out really well for him.
Rusev is the best man. I was going to say that he could, like, Miro just needed somebody to see into his future about when he could get out of his contract. And Apollo Crews is like, January 2025?
Yeah, I think so.
And he was the first person to get him in touch with somebody that could get him back through the door.
Apollo Crews, of course, would be renewing his vows with his lovely wife, Linda.
There we go.
Not Linda from the Traitors.
Linda Cruz, of course.
Linda McMahon. Okay.
Oh, God.
Moving swiftly on, let's talk about the return of the man who loves to buy tickets for shows, Solo Sikoa. Oh, I've missed him.
Me too, in a way. I saw some reporting earlier this week. There was rumours and scuttlebutt that there might be a babyface turning coming for Solo. And I wouldn't do it yet, but I sort of get it now off
He getting kicked out the new bloodline.
Well, this is it, right? Like the failure of the not the failure of the new bloodline, but the fall of the new bloodline, should we say? They had a good run. But the fall of the new bloodline starts now, you would think.
We have 10 days until their real tribal chief returns, of course.
Indeed.
And I'm not talking about Roman Reigns. 20 plus 7, baby.
Which would make him the number 27 entrant in the Rumble, which is the luckiest number.
Is it still the luckiest number now?
Like the Traitors talking about evidence. Well, we've got more evidence. It's definitely The Rock. No, Solo Sikoa has developed in this role. Maybe not in the way that people would have liked. And it hasn't helped that you've had Jacob Fatu come in and be the killer that Solo wasn't that good at portraying.
I think it did. I think it perfectly
forced
undermined him of being like, I'm kind of the brains actually of this operation. I got a ticket.
But I think they would have liked him to be
on
believable as a
par.
badass.
Yeah.
And that once it quickly became apparent that people weren't buying him as a badass. So then I think from the Cody Steel cage match, they were like, pretender. He's a pretender. Especially now, like Roman Reigns is actually back on television. Yes. Solo's a pretender. Right. How do you illustrate that where you make him a total phony faker who almost like has to force through this agenda because nobody buys it other than him. And now he's lost. He's lost the Eula Fala. He's potentially lost the respect of the bloodline, but the new bloodline. But they haven't illustrated that yet because they're still doing his bidding. Mm-hmm. Like they were doing that last week. They're angry. They're feeling a little bit embarrassed. Their bloodline.
Better when he's not there. They were stood tall at the end of the show.
Their bloodline has been kind of embarrassed by the OGs at War Games, all that sort of stuff. So now is the time that you start just having, I would say, Tama Tonga, and whenever he's healthy, Tonga Loa be the one to question like the authority. In the same way, I guess that the Usos were the sort of the brothers that would always have that bond that you could lean on. That Roman, he's got like 99.9% of them, but the 0.01 is the fact that they're brothers. With the Guerrillas of Destiny, you kind of do that with Solo, where like they're the first two to get together over like after Netflix Raw and be like, "What when are you healthy?" "Well, I'm healthy in a few weeks." "What are you doing?" "Well, we're kind of doing Solo's dirty work again." "I watched that Netflix show and he lost." And they're just having these like chats outside. But it's getting Jacob Fatu on side. And what is Jacob Fatu's catchphrase against? I can't remember.
"I loves you, Solo." That's what he says. That's how he says it.
What if Jacob Fatu?
I want him to go full. Brick Tamland?
What from?
No, not Brick Tamland. It's the other one, isn't it? It's the sports reporter.
From Anchorman.
Yeah, when Ron Burgundy just shows back up. "Mr. Musk, where'd you go, man?" Calm it down, Jacob.
Him loving Solo as much as he does, like his faith being shaken in all this is going to play out wonderfully.
Yes.
Because you either have, and I think this is why the babyface turn for Solo is only a rumor, because at the moment you could start entering into so like at WrestleMania 6, that's my go-to, of Bobby Heenan slapping Andre the Giant and realizing he's gone too far. But there's been a million cases of this, right? The smaller person or the person that's been able to hold the monster under lock and key suddenly loses control of the monster and the fans are like, turn on the master, that kind of thing. You either do that, or because Jacob's so frightening, you kind of keep Solo Sikoa's fun side out there and then start dialing up how dangerous Jacob is. And when he brutalizes him, it's very much in the same way.
By orders of?
Well, not the friggin' Rock anymore, because he's
Final boss, baby.
Eva.
No, that's only on Tuesdays.
Oh, only on Tuesday.
It'd be more credible than Dwayne.
I tell you what
Disagree.
will be good, though, if they do go down that route, just imagine that time when Solo thinks everything's great and Jacob puts his hands together and says, I hate you, Solo.
That's the Roman says yeet of the new bloodline, Nicholas. So I have no doubt they'll do it on a taped show.
You hate that they did that.
It's my least favorite thing of 2024. A perfect year ruined WWE. I love that. That's yeah. I hate you. Again, it's either a heel or a babyface move. It's incredible, isn't it?
Imagine if, because LA Knight's on the rampage now, obviously for what they did to him.
Yeah.
What if, like, not necessarily this week, but LA Knight beats Solo? You're losing to LA Knight.
Mm-hmm. Well, but you can do this now. You know,
and he's going to be in the Rumble and get chucked out, no doubt. Solo.
I think this is nice to be able to talk about, because I felt the other week there was such negative momentum around the new bloodline when we were kind of all assuming that Roman would win on Netflix Raw. The only way to keep this stable, like, alive and interesting was by having Solo winning through cheating. And they didn't do that. Roman won, and now here we are a couple of weeks later after last week's SmackDown, and it does feel like there are kind of avenues for them to explore.
I'm glad you mentioned that as well, because I know you were a bit grumpy with regards to Jimmy and Cody being just all pally. I think lean in onto that. I think there was a reasoning for that, and I think this week is you're gonna have more Cody KO brawling, no doubt, or selling what happened obviously to close out last week. All the tables, boatloads of future NXT stars as security or whatever to keep them apart. But if I'm Jimmy Uso, I'm going, we're good pals now, and thanks for helping out the Bloodline War Games. Kind of left me hanging there last week. You going to the acknowledgement ceremony on the 27th, 7/7? I'll be
going.
I'll be going. And just to give you a bit of a heads up, I'm going in the Rumble. Like, I want a bit of friction.
Yeah, I would.
He should be pissed off. He left him high and dry because he just has to. He can't help himself with Kevin Owens, understandably, but even so, Jimmy Uso should not be all. Well, you left me to get killed by the new bloodline last week. Not very Usy, that.
But everything's fine in Big Jim's world.
Yeah,
which it often is. I agree with you. He should be pissed off.
So, and like, Cody's still focused on Kevin Owens, and he's like, yeah, but Solo's back as well tonight. Bad enough last week.
Apologies, but let's keep it together, sort of thing. I would like that, and I don't think it's a bar too high for WWE to cross as well. They do sort of take care with those details now, so I don't think that's kind of out there fantasy booking to want these characters to care. And bigger picture, that sort of creative will restore my faith a little bit in SmackDown, because I'm really not convinced by this 3-hour period thus far. And I know it's only till June.
Oh, yeah.
But last week was lazy. It was a lazy show. Not just for like that, but there was a lot, go back and listen to the review. There's a lot of stuff I thought that needed work and needed attention and wasn't given. And some of the finishes were bad. And some of the booking they were cheating, really. And like, I'd like to see this show given the care. And you don't see it in the big ways with the massive storyline development. You see it in the little ones. That is an application of care to the characters. That's what, like, all last year, especially on Raw, how often, like, did you feel, like, I certainly felt compelled to talk about, like, show Bibles. It's like, my God, this is like, they are taking notes on the character. How have they met them? When have they interacted with them? What's their previous history with them? Like, all of that stuff that we were seeing, like, kind of like never before in WWE, certainly not since the year 2000. And, like, now look at where we're at with that. Roman Reigns is still the tree, but we're going to need a new tree soon. But like Sami Zayn is probably the best example. They could be on the highway to Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens, even for the WWE title at WrestleMania. And the kind of arrangement of all the other wrestlers to get to that point thus far has been impeccable.
What if, Jimmy's chatting to Sami Zayn about, like, Solo's back. How you feeling about that tonight? Mm-hmm. And Sami's like, I've just got to go and take a piss, actually. And then obviously, because they don't come to blows, do they? When Jimmy and Kevin are in the hallway together.
No.
Kevin Owens just sidles up next to him. Kind of left you high and dry there last week, didn't he? Just start being the Drew McIntyre of SmackDown, just on people's shoulders.
You know how we could develop another
Imagine
idea?
if Kevin Owens said, that wasn't very Usi, was it?
Well, we could develop another idea with Jimmy and Cody, as relates to something else that's going on, of course. What if Jimmy Uso is just talking to a friend of his that he's brought backstage for a special occasion, and that friend has, let's just say, a near identical look to a Kevin Owens, and then Cody on site just batters the out of him, and then Jimmy's like, what are you doing, what are you doing, what are you doing? And Cody's like, you know what I'm doing? I'm sorry about last week, I've got to get him. And it's like, this is my lifelong school friend, Colin. You've hospitalised Colin.
What have you done?
Colin Bowen.
Colin Bowen, there we go.
My ears are still ringing from going through the table. I misheard you.
Yeah.
Works for me. Are they holding Piper Niven in a shark cage, you reckon?
What could they do?
More shenanigans, completely fine by me, but more shenanigans for Chelsea Green in that US title rematch against Michin, which is a vast improvement on the title decider between those two, in my opinion. Although the finish was class in there.
Is there anything they could do where they make it like they're leaning on this, like she's kind of the presidential guard, isn't she?
Oh, yeah.
Like they could have a talk show segment called The Greenhouse, whereas instead of a White House, it's a greenhouse.
Trump's getting sworn in, isn't he, this weekend or this week? So that'd tie in nicely.
Presidential, yeah. And then Michin, because it's the greenhouse, it's not just wordplay, it's a literal greenhouse. And Michin puts Piper Niven's head through the glass like Sean and Marty of the greenhouse. And Chelsea's like, no, that's where my plants grow. But also, now she's out.
You've ruined me tomatoes.
Yeah.
Works for me.
Do you grow fruit and veg?
I think we've attempted it on numerous occasions. Right now, kind of busy with the whole looking after Eric thing.
Yeah.
But like I always,
Wasn't that
for some reason I don't.
now?
For some reason I don't.
Thanks, Nicholas.
For some reason I just, when I grow it myself, I look at it and go, oh, look at that. And then I don't trust myself to eat it. Like I'm like, well, supermarkets will have definitely done it the right way. I don't know if this is going to kill me.
Try it in a soup. That's what I do with that. Yeah. Once it's all mashed up.
I'm a soup guy.
Speaking of your kid, I've just noticed your T-shirt.
Yes.
Put this over. Put this over.
I mean, I can't zoom in any further, but look.
Anna Louise got this for me for Christmas. I think it's
Ronnie Barker with Eric.
It's brilliant. Yeah,
it's so lovely.
It's from his baptism, and I saw a lot of like, oh, get your
lean to your right a bit.
My right,
there.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, amazing. It's so good.
It's it's an outline of myself and my son from holding him ahead of his baptism when we're all dressed up all smart.
You're looking pretty jacked.
I need to get bigger.
Yeah, but what about the T-shirt?
But I thought, I thought it was like, I feel really guilty now because she's done really nice, thoughtful things for Christmas, and I've just gone, do you want some Maltesers or?
I'd be grateful for the Maltesers.
Sorry, love.
Great. Maltesers are goated. Like,
sorry,
Louise,
one more time, Wilbourn, down the barrel, please.
Sorry, love.
There you go.
Do you know what I wanted for Christmas this year?
Peace and quiet.
Pint of my own, a go on my phone and cash.
Did you actually write that down for Santa?
Netflix account.
Yeah. It's like a free year of Netflix. I hate gift. I think it's like...
What's your Valentine's Day plans looking like?
We haven't had one in ever. Like...
It's NXT Vengeance Day, of course.
I was going to say, it's Vengeance Day on the Saturday, so we'll probably like time in the weekend around that. No, it's how we've been married.
And Australia, the AEW Australia show.
I'd say it's Vengeance Day on the Saturday, so we plan the weekend around that.
Yeah, I would just assume your Valentine's Day where you just watch a match of Greg Valentine's. That would be your...
Yeah.
That's literally what I would assume happens in your life.
Greg Valentine's Day, it is now.
Yeah. That's just what I thought you would do.
Adele's so lucky, man. No, we got together in October, so I remember making an effort on the first Valentine's Day.
She's a lucky lady.
Not much of a one. and she thinks it's as pointless and a waste of time as I do. And that's not a judgment. If people like Valentine's Day, go wild.
Hallmark holiday.
Yeah, do whatever, you know. I'm too old to be one of them card shops that are the winners of these holidays. Do whatever. Do what you like. Like, which is another good take, that song that should remind us of they're breaming jelly up Gary Barlow's arse. So wrong about take that. But yeah, pray. You know what I mean? A million love songs. Are you f***ing kidding? Right, anyway.
Something about saying, take that while shoving jelly up Gary Barlow's arse.
I didn't make the video.
Yeah, that's...
Imagine how much it'd take to fill up his son's arse.
We're going to need a bigger broom.
You need the thing from the end of Ghostbusters 2.
Well, I guess we're gonna need a bigger broom.
It's like that woman mopping the tide. It's just coming back down. There's too much of it.
What were we talking about?
Jelly.
Oh, I've lost the timestamps, yeah, man.
Take that. That's going to kill me. It was terribly important.
Greenhouse, Chelsea
Greenhouse.
Green.
Yeah, there's a missing scene from the middle that we'll never get back to. Lost forever. Never mind. Valentine's Day.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. The real sort of benefit of that, having done the first one, was like a nice sort of quiet agreement. Like almost immediately afterwards, like, you're not asked about this. No, me neither. Like where it was probably like one of those early moments where you're like, oh, this is going to be a long-term relationship, and this is like, you know, getting married and stuff. But like the kind of we're not into eating out at like fancy places anyway, but we're especially not into eating at places that we would normally like that have jacked the prices up or are suddenly busier than we would like. So we used to, like, there was a pub that we used to love going to for a couple of drinks and food, and it was just like we were already becoming like an old couple of pensioners mere months into our relationship, because we go and order the same thing. I'll take that bit that you like off that. You take maximise the whole deal. Couple of pints. God, I was happy, and like I still am. I can't speak for Adele, but I still am. And that, I remember that pub having like a Valentine's Day offer fell on one of the nights that we would often go for that meal. And I was like, what's this? What have you?
You've ruined it.
You want to flip a table, let alone book one. Like, so that was like an early doors conversation. And generally speaking of occasions, you know, like you do the gimmick where you set the budget.
Yeah.
Like I'll have been the one on odd occasions that has like gone over a little bit. But in recent, especially since having kids has been great for this. When so much of these occasions you realize are for children rather than adults, gift stuff is the easiest. Like there's zero pressure before Christmas about like I know what she's going to do and I love her for it. She's going to put that week's Viz in a gift bag with the brand of deodorant I like, with some very nice coloured socks. I saw those like pink and yellow. Nice. They look like a TV test card ones. I loved them. Like, and that's it. And I want to know that no more than 20 quid was spent. Like, that's a gift in itself.
Yes.
And then we'll arrange little like, do you want to like go and have a night in a Premier Inn? Yes, please. Like, doesn't need wrapping. Does not need wrapping. Like, I'm just shooting straight about the reality of long-term marriage with kids.
I just don't get where Charlie gets it from.
These are gifts more than stuff. We've all got plenty of stuff.
One final thing. We've got a hell of a lineup for the Royal Rumble right now. Nia Jax obviously declaring for the women's.
Stars only, innit?
Roman, Punk, Seth, Drew... Cena, of course. But...
Did you not see him?
Who on tonight's SmackDown, and I've gone all superstars here, so old and new, is going to either be on the show or, you know, Leon Ruff shows back up, for example, to say, hello, everyone, I'm in the Rumble. I thought we could end on a nice little...
It's time to play the game! Time to play a game! Ha 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 ha!
Can I guess somebody that's going to be in the Rumble based on a random selection game? But also, can I book somebody?
Yeah, go on.
What if this week's tantalising tease of Sammy and Kevin was Kevin Owens has battered Cody Rhodes again, and he's like nicked his regular world title, or he's still carrying around the Winged Eagle one, and he's sort of like I can't wait for this to be over and finally be WWE champion. He just walks out a shot. And then as he walks out a shot, you see the SmackDown GM's door.
Can't remember what his name is.
I can't remember his name, never can. Door opens up and Sami Zayn walks out of it. Kevin Owens has just walked off shot, so it's WWE, he might as well be 10 miles away.
Yeah.
Like, he walks out of it and the SmackDown GM's like, no, Sami, it's going to be great to have you in the Rumble. I'd love to see you fight for the title at WrestleMania.
I love that.
Right.
No notes.
Just a little,
But along with Sami Zayn,
Here we go.
got a real crocodile's mouth. You thought it was bad before.
Stop.
Okay, pick a number between 1 and 12.
I love this. 1 and 12, but don't say 4, 7, and 9, 6.
I can tell you, if you just said 3, you would have said Sami Zayn.
Ah.
But instead, you've picked a real veteran to enter the Royal Rumble this year. I'm talking about Sanga off of NXT.
Oh, I had a bit of affinity.
He was great, yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to twist, though.
Okay, smart move. I'm going back up now.
Stop.
I'm going to go up a little bit more.
Stop.
Okay. Picking them between 1 and 12.
We the 1.
In AEW. I'm scrolling up again.
Stop.
1 to 12.
We the 1.
Okay. It's just sort of surprised me because it's actually a feasible one. Kairi Sane.
Kairi Sane. Twist.
I hope she's in the Rumble. She's awesome. Yeah. But it's all on this one. Jesus.
Stop. Why do we do this? We invite this, It's only a button. We just don't need to press it.
1 to 12.
12.
No.
11.
You picked it.
Okay. Your little finger just picked it.
Ladies and gentlemen, to conclude today's podcast, very professionally, Michael Hamflett can exclusively reveal that on tonight's SmackDown, confirming themselves for the 2025 Royal Rumble will be Daniel Bryan.
Look, I didn't want to. I certainly didn't.
Bryan Danielson's retired,
but Daniel Bryan. But I think you know the guy. He's got he comes out, it's like still grizzled, bag hanging half of his head, Bryan Danielson couldn't work the Royal Rumble, but then he pulls on a t-shirt with a stupid f***ing goat or something that Vince McMahon designed. Goat vegan idiot. But Daniel Bryan.
the babyface, right? Yeah.
The push chair that had Miz and Maurice's fake baby in that time.
Class on it.
You loved all that.
Come on back, right?
Yeah, I don't want to scoop the OTJ, but yeah.
You heard it here first.
Yeah.
Let us know your thoughts on that and everything we've discussed in the comments or on X at WhatCulture WWE. Watch there. You can follow all three of us. You can follow Michael Hamflett at
Michael Hamflett.
You can follow our long-suffering producer Adam Nicholas at
It's Adam Nicholas.
and you can follow me at Adam Wilbourn. Follow us all at WhatCulture WWE and make sure you subscribe to WhatCulture Wrestling wherever you get your podcasts from for daily wrestling podcasts. Wrestle Culture coming your way later on today, of course. But for now, this has been the SmackDown preview where we've talked a bit about the WWE Women's Championship being on the line. Which tag team can become number one contenders? Who else is going to declare for the Rumble? When is Jade Cargill returning? And Solo Sikoa is back.
SmackDown preview. It's got all this and sometimes too much more.
We'll see you soon.